Let's talk about why some people would use your weaknesses to sabotage your future personal growth. One thing is sure, people who know your history are best often the ones most threatened by your future. When a relative or a friend brings up your past mistakes right before your breakthrough, when you're reminded, when you're reminded, when they remind you of who you used to be every time you try to evolve, when their concern sounds strangely like doubt, it's rarely accidental. Sometimes the ones who share your blood fear your growth even more than strangers could. Today, we're going to be dismantling the silent machinery of family sabotages and reclaim the power to protect the new version of you. This is Life Wisdom with Dr. T, a place where healing meets growth and becoming begins. We'll begin by looking at the anatomy of familiar surveillances. Growing up in a close-knit environment gives relatives something powerful. It gives them the psychological map of your triggers. They know you very well. They know what you were insecure about when you were 10 or 12 years old. They know about your failures and what failures embarrassed you much, maybe in your young adult age at 18, 19, or 20. They know about your heartbreaks, nearly the heartbreaks that happen over maybe at 25 or 30, 40. And while healthy families protect those vulnerabilities, unhealed friends or relatives will store them. They would use them as armor later on to get back at you. Sometimes constructive criticism isn't guidance, it's data collection. Notice when advice feels less like support and more like scanning for weaknesses. There is also a silent shift that happens when you outgrow your assigned role. You were once the shy one. You were once maybe the irresponsible one, the dreamer, or maybe the black sheep. But when you begin to transform that old label to become stable, and instability threatens family hierarchies. You are no longer predictable, and unpredictability makes stagnant systems nervous. This leads us to the status quo. Why does your evolution trigger discomfort? More often, your evolution triggers discomfort because your growth is a mirror. When you pursue therapy, discipline, faith, fitness, education, entrepreneurship, or whatever you're trying to pursue, you silently ask a question. If I can change, why haven't you? And that reflection can feel unbearable, and it can feel uncomfortable. Your success exposes deferred dreams. Your success exposes avoided risk. Your success exposes unhealed trauma. Your success exposes untapped potentials. Instead of confronting their own stagnations, some relatives or friends subconsciously fight to keep you in a controllable familiar role. There is an invisible script in many families. Stay relatable, stay small, stay who we understand. But growth usually disrupts comfort. This leads us to the various sabotages. Watch for backhanded support. I'm proud of you. I just hope you don't mess it up again. That's great. But remember what happened last time. You've always been silent or sensitive. So be careful this time. This statement plant doubt right before your breakthrough. Another tactic, anchoring you to your past. Every time you rise, they resurrect old failures. The job you lost, the relationship that ended badly, the mistake you made years ago. Why? Because if you retain your old identity, they don't have to adjust theirs. Gaslighting often follows you've changed. You think you're better than us now? You're forgetting where you came from. But growth is not arrogance. Evolution is not betrayal. You are allowed to outgrow environments that shaped you. Be selective in silence. Here's the hard truth. Not everyone deserves access to your day one plan. Sharing your goals too early can create friction instead of encouragement. Sometimes the most strategic move is low information diet. This doesn't mean secrecy out of fear. It means privacy out of wisdom. Protect your early momentum. Let results speak louder than announcement. Stop seeking tribal validation from those committed to misunderstanding you. Build quietly, move silently, and win intentionally. Protect the new version of you very early on. The transformed version of you requires protection. So you must set emotional boundaries that communicate, my growth is not negotiable. You may need to do this, you may need to limit vulnerable disclosures. You may need to redirect intuitive or intrusive questions. And you may need to refuse conversations that resurrect old identities. Curate a chosen family, mentors, peers, spiritual guides, those who celebrate your trajectory instead of clinging to your history. And most importantly, shift from being a reactive family member to becoming the intentional architect of your legacy. Blood may connect you to a past, but discipline, discernment, and courage connect you to your future. Never forget that. You are not obligated to remain who you were just to make other people comfortable. Your evolution is not a betrayal. It is simply you aligning with the true version of yourself. If someone weaponizes your past, it is because your future threatens their comfort. Do not hold your dream back to please other people who do not even want you to grow. Let them adjust. You keep building yourself. Because sometimes blood isn't thicker than progress. And protecting your destiny will require strategic distance. I hope you enjoyed this reflection. If you did, please don't forget to comment below, like and share, and come back.